Hello my dudes, this is Kadima with another Lords of the Fallen build video, this time engaging with an Inferno build. Is it better than Pieta's and Holy dual builds? Not really. Is it fun to use? Yes, because it is fun, we'll go with that. Is it effective for PvE? Yes. Is it good for PvP? Yes. But is it better? Not really. And you will see why. So, without further delays, let's go for the build itself. For the weapons, we are using dual grinding axe plus 10, and both of them have the runes that increase the Inferno attribute scaling on all 3 slots, as you can see. For our catalyst, we are using Queen Sophigia's catalyst plus 10. It's the best catalyst in the game for Inferno builds. It scales S with Inferno. As for the weapons, you can also see they both scale S, which will boost even further how much damage you will be doing with these things. For spells, I'm currently using Magma Surge, Cataclysm, Inferno Weapon, Adir's Rage, and Adir's Endurance. For armor, it's completely up to you. I like to go with what is efficient and looks cool. I'm using the Nephitide Hood, Sovereign Protector Armor, Holy Bulwark Gauntlets, and Crimson Rector Leggings. For the necklace, I'm using the Rogart's Delight because it increases fire damage and holy defense, which is useful for PvP because everybody runs either holy builds or crossbows. Everybody knows that. For the rings, I mean, Ring of Knight's Fire, I've got 2 of them. One of my friends dropped me one. And this basically just deals additional fire damage and wither damage. The good thing is that you get both bonuses from the weapons because, as you can see down below, the attack power of 545, it's divided through physical, fire, and wither damages. So the ring will benefit the weapons completely. As for this one, it will just benefit the fire side of things. We will be casting Inferno weapon on our grinding axes for the extra damage, so that also helps. As for the spells, our damaging spells are the Cataclysm and the Magma Surge. They both have fire, so all 3 will help with the spell damage. Now, for the character itself, we are running 12 strength, 8 agility, and 8 radiance. These are from scratch. I started with the Lord class. I've got 25 endurance, 35 vitality, and 75 Inferno. I'm currently at level 110. All my builds are 110. Encumbrance, it's medium, means I could actually probably sacrifice endurance points and put them somewhere else, but it really doesn't make a difference. Inferno at 75 is more than enough for the damage output, as you can see very shortly. As you can look for my Umbral Lamp, I don't really care about Umbral Lamp. You can use whatever you want. I never discuss these things in my build videos, just the build itself. So let me give you a taste of how this looks by fighting a boss, and then I'll give you some examples of PvP. But basically what you want to do is start every single fight by casting the Inferno weapon, casting Adir's spells, also known as shouts, and there you go, you're good to go. And then you got the Cataclysm for the damage, and you got the Magma Surge. The Magma Surge and the Cataclysm, they both do quite a lot of damage, as I'm going to demonstrate quickly here. But the problem is the tracking of these spells. It's actually quite terrible. See, I'm gonna put this on the floor, but if he moves even just the slightest, the spell doesn't fully hit, as you just saw. So there's that problem right there. The area of effect is quite small. I think it should be slightly bigger. I'm not saying it should be the entire floor, nothing like it. I'm just saying it should be slightly bigger, that it would still hit the enemy if he took about 2 to 3 steps to the side. As in, at the moment, how it's working, all you have to do is actually genuinely take 2 steps and the spell will not hit you. So it's a bit funny that way. In any case, let's do an example of a boss fight, starting with buffing the weapons with Inferno, both Adir shouts. We'll start with this one. When the Cataclysm spell hits with all the hits, as you saw, it completely destroys. But what happens when it doesn't hit with all the bursts of meteorite? You see what happens? All that boss needed to do was walk a few steps and the spell nearly misses the guy completely. So the tracking of the spell is actually quite bad. I mean, we still get the job done and we defeat the boss, and as you saw, it does insane amount of damage, but the tracking of the spell is not good at all. Anyway, let's do some examples of PvP, starting with this guy in the Empyrean area. Just using the lantern past the gate. I find him right there, probably just after he collected the key. One hit, a single swing, 393 damage. I tried to finish off with a Cataclysm, but as you can see, the tracking is just not that great. If he dodges back, or if he dodges forward, like all of the hits completely miss. Yeah, you can see there's a bit of lag, but it's superficial at this stage. I do manage to kill him and we enter Umbral stage. But as you can see, there is lag because he managed to teleport himself while he was dead. Try again the spell, but as you can see, unfortunately and especially for PvP, the tracking is not great, but the second cast does hit. Now, second invasion, as an example, invading this guy, who is using dual Pietas, as you can see straight away on your screen. When I see someone with dual Pietas, I just think of my own build, so I run forward to force the blessed illusion things to attack the ground instead of using the laser. Just dodge his casts. I didn't expect that one to come. In any case, he ran out of mana. I tried to apply some pressure, use the catalyst myself, which, as you saw, only one actually hit and it did 99 damage. The second one did 123 damage, but as a whole it should have killed him, considering how much damage the spell does when everything actually hits. The problem is how complicated it is to get everything to hit. Unfortunately for him, he casted the blessed on the enemies from Umbral instead of me, which is good. I stay on the offense. He actually manages to proc the smite, but I do have quite a lot of holy defense for a reason. GG, brother. As for the next one, I invade a couple of guys in the memorial area. Again, buffing the weapon, using both shouts of Adir. I checked if they were down here, and they were not, so I carry on looking for them. Unfortunately, this area can be a bit funny because the enemies of the map itself can get in the way, and it's just a little bit annoying. You have to kind of go around them. So I start with the Cataclysm. Again, does a bit of damage, but not massively. I tried using that hammer spell, but when I saw the damage, it's like, okay, this is not going to kill anyone ever. So I chose not to use it. Trying to get some hits, but unfortunately the problem with the axes is that they have very small, very limited reach. And then the guy just teleported God knows where. Lag is what it is. Can't do anything about lag, I'm afraid. I decided to buff myself once again, considering how long it had been. We are in Umbro because I did get the host down. And the enemies are piling up, which is a good thing for me. I throw another Cataclysm. And I think I got the co-op guy. Unfortunately, he is so laggy that I couldn't even tell. Just keeping the pressure on the host until I noticed that he was actually taunting me. And I said, okay, that's fine. You want to taunt me? That's absolutely fine. You are going to die to the enemies, so... But then I casted the Cataclysm and he died. So you see, when the Cataclysm hits with most of its hits, it's actually quite good. Now here's an example of the Magma Surge. It's not a great spell because, as I said, if the enemy takes a couple of steps in any direction, the spell will miss. But when the spell actually hits, which is the case here, it's a one-shot spell. Now, this guy actually throws one of them spears at me, manages to hit, but I come here just to be able to get the lock. I call the Magma Surge and boom, one shot. There you go. GG. Same thing happens to this guy, but in an even faster fashion. So I come here, I try to put some pressure straight away before I even buff my axes. I buff the axes. I realize he's not going to move, so I cast the Magma Surge and boom, he's dead. GG. Again, very strong, very powerful spell when it hits, but it is quite hard to make it hit in PvP. You kinda gotta get lucky. Your enemy has to stop for whatever reason to buff or to heal. If he's just continuously moving, that spell is never going to hit. Unfortunately, in this case, you can actually see how bad the lag was. This guy was able to hit me through my hits without getting interrupted at all. His friend, the host, was actually spamming Orion's Judgment, which is fair enough. I would be doing the same, but then he makes a fatal mistake of running towards me. And I just turned back and quickly sliced him. So as you can see, the weapon's damage itself, it's actually quite good. But you have to remember to buff. If you buff, it gets even better. I don't think you will one-shot a lot of people using this build with the weapons, because the weapons are not designed to one-shot. They are not that good. They don't compare to Pietas. They are good, but not that good. This guy is throwing throwable items at me. He even manages to get me off the floor thanks to the power of lag. I'm just trying to analyze how bad the lag is. I do manage to get one parry there, but didn't do me much. But then when I finally hit with a combo, it actually one-shot the guy. He comes forward, he does the running R2. I managed to walk away. Then I thought, okay, I'm going to just try to make him dance a little bit with a Cataclysm, which, as you saw, didn't kill. The Magma Surge won't even go to where he was. He was just in front of me for whatever reason. I tried the Magma Surge a few more times, but as you can see, it's completely useless. But the Cataclysm hits slightly on his back, and I finished with the axes. GG. Right, this one is actually a good one, and it will be the last one for the video. It was actually a proper duel with a guy using kind of a similar build to mine. He's using the axes, buffing them with Infernal Weapon as well. So I finally get close. I'm about to wave. He does attack me, but
fair enough, it was easy to dodge. And then we start the duel. As you see, the reach of the Cataclysm, it's actually quite minute, because the spell comes from above you, but it doesn't travel forward that much. It travels in a downward direction, but the reach, it's awful. It doesn't reach if the guy is too far away, and it doesn't reach if the guy is too close. So it's quite not great for PvP. Even for PvE, as you saw against the boss, it's not that great. It's useful. It hits hard when all the meteors from the spell actually hit, but when it's not the case, it's just a normal spell. In any case, about this duel, as you can see, the guy decided not to engage anymore for whatever reason. So I decided to just go with the Cataclysms. I managed to hit him a couple of times, and then I do finish the duel off. In any case, guys, as I said, this is a good build. It's a fun build, but it's not the best build out there. I would still go with something different for OP purposes. Anyways, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you, of course, in the next one. I'm still debating what is going to be the next build, but you'll find out soon enough. Thank you so much. Please subscribe if you haven't just yet. Leave a like or any comments down below, and I'll see you in the next one. Cheerio!